Intellectual property protection was something that was obviously important to the individuals who were drafting the Constitution of the United States. The writers were interested in giving inventors and artists incentive to continue to create and the ability to live a life based on creation and sale of ideas and art. Though patents cover the creation of things, the creation of art is covered by copyrights. Copywriting allows an artist to confirm the creation of his or her work and to keep the work in a state he or she feels is desirable. With a copyright, a person is given several rights over their work. 5, in fact: the right to reproduce, the right to perform, the right to display, the right to make derivatives, and the right to distribute the work. This allows the author to choose how to use or sell his creation and compete in the capitalistic United States. The creator or author holds all rights for a limited time. When that time has expired, the copyright goes away and the work goes into the giant vat of the public domain. The time it takes for something to fall into the public domain is longer than the life of the author and a significant portion of the life of his progeny. This allows the author and his family to be significantly recompensed for the work and any notoriety it might have gained over the years. Once a work has entered the public domain, it is, as it sounds, available to anyone. This allows others to access the work without having to pay the author for its use. Once a work resides in the public domain, it will not be able to be independently copyrighted again. The work is now available for others to use and benefit from, and this allows for further progress in the way of art and understanding art. Taking, for example, Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Ballet. It was composed in 1892, and at this point the music resides nicely in the public domain. It can be performed by any orchestra at any time without having to acquire a license from the author to perform the work. Also, any ballet company can choreograph a routine based on the music of the Nutcracker. However, if a ballet company wants to dance George Balanchine's setting of the Nutcracker, they would have to pay to license the choreography from the Balanchine Trust. As he had his choreography copyrighted in 1954, that remains safely in his possession. On the subject of Tchaikovsky, and since all of his work is in the public domain, the producers of Black Swan did not have to pay to license the music for Swan Lake to be the center of the score for their movie. Although the movie itself as a larger work can be copyrighted, it wouldn't renew any copyright on the music therein. Another fun copywriting story is that of Richard Wagner's Parsifal. This is a 5-hour opera that opened in 1882. And at the time was copyrighted. It was only to be played at Wagner's personal festival theater in Germany. It is fun to know that the copyright was to expire on December 31st, 1913, and there was a staging of the show that opened 1 minute after midnight on the 1st of January, 1914, for which people were standing in lines. But this is also a story about piracy. For as long as there have been laws to break, we have been breaking them. Even though Parsifal was copyrighted, there were a few productions that happened without consent of the holder. But now with it in the public domain, it can be staged at any time by any company without having to acquire a license. This allows young opera companies to put on long, elaborate works and possibly have a little more of their budget left to be spent on sets and costume and probably makeup as well. Among the millions of things that are coming out all of the time, and have been coming out since 1928, there are hundreds of thousands of things that are still copyrighted. Many of them are worth being copyrighted, and many of them probably aren't. Things that people should make money on, and things that should be treasured, and some things that are generally irrelevant and just take a number in the Copyright Office and don't really provide any growth. I do think that some things are good to remain untarnished, but that is generally due to my own sentiment toward it, not because there is any true value on its integrity. But as I am one of those suckers, I do adore a certain mouse. My name is Claire Mondragon, and this is for Music Copywriting and Publishing,